Auntie Ann, that is kind. That is awesome. And congratulations for the big win at golf. Hello, Daily Word and Hoops. Hello, Fun Paul and Firecracker. Hello, Miss Maria and Rosie Posey. Hello, Mr. CSAC. Silver's up. They're trying hard. Guys, I can't find real resistance when I do the research and I look at the charts. I don't really see anything at this point now that it's consolidating again for a push to 65. Then I can see a little things if it doesn't push straight through. Then it would probably do the same. Do a little consolidation, a little sideways for a short bit, and then go again. It is something. Let's see, Sir Laugh a Lot, 300 feet of sidewalk shoveled all before 8 for the school kids. You are kind. Jamie, prayers for my family in North Carolina. Lost my favorite aunt yesterday from cancer, only 18 hours in hospice. Oh, that is so sad, Jamie. Speaking of aunts and cancer, though, prayers for my Aunt Maxine. She's in intensive care now. Family could use the prayers. Hello, Golden Rose. Hello, Midnight Smokers up in Maine. Reading a few of these, I know I need to be diving into it. Can't believe Storkinson, right? Silver, depending on where you're looking, 59.20. We will have Mr. C, and we should have extra time with Mr. C today, as I am not a huge amount out there. Hello, Flatbed. Hello, Trey. Thank you for that super sticker. That is kind. Let me make certain I stay a bit on the focus side this morning so that we can get to Mr. C. The Fed's out of options, rate cuts, money printing, balance sheet reversals. They call it policy, but it's really panic. Just look at what silver is doing. This is endgame economics where hope replaces discipline and the illusion of control finally breaks. They're not cutting rates because things are strong. They're cutting because the system is cracking. Inflation's eating savings, labor market stalling. Confidence in the dollar is fading fast. For decades, the Fed built a house of paper. Now they're striking the match that could burn it down, leaving you to pay the price. Every cycle ends the same way. Bubbles, bailouts, and broken retirements. That's why smart investors are moving to what's real, gold and silver. When's the last time you actually held the wealth you've spent your life working for? My friends over at Noble Gold Investments have been helping Americans move from paper wealth into real, tangible assets. Numbers on a screen can disappear, but physical gold and silver, they've outlasted every crisis in history. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com and get your free wealth protection kit today, or you can go to markzgold.com and discover how simple it is to protect your wealth. Let's see, what is this one? Happy Friday, MarkZ family. Just heard Greg Allen challenge Candace Owens to show their bank accounts and bet her $1 million. He's confident he's not paid, is she? Yeah, I don't know what that one is. Florida shirt. Little different support today. Yeah, I'm with Jason. I kind of hope silver stays down until I get to buy it. Jamie, I appreciate that when I'm convinced that Glenn Beck was trolling you, Mark. Shared with others. No, that was great. Glenn nailed it out of the park. Well done. I've had a couple of those big shout outs today, this week for some of those folks that I think have really been in the trenches and doing hard work. Maybe not always appreciated, but Glenn Beck, Jim Willie, few of them. Got another character for you today that did a short one. I need to put that one out there. Let me do that while we're saying hellos, etc. for those that are coming in late. I just posted a link in all the platforms. Again, I did it earlier, but that was before everybody had gotten in here. Doing that one again, little video from this guy. Echo X. We're witnessing the largest financial shift in U.S. history. Nobody's talking about it. He talks about the IRS, the Fed, interest rates, property taxes, all the hints, all the things that Trump has dropped. I thought it was really good. Blue enhances you. I appreciate that one. Woke up super early, so I'm a little bit like Jay and Amy, always a pleasure. TP, that is one of the things that I think Glenn does a better job at than I do. Glenn Beck was awesome. He explained it so the normies could actually wrap their head around it. I do think he does a good job at that. Me, I just assume everybody's been following it just like you and I have, etc. So I expect a little more out of them. KSH model. Happy birthday. You chasing me down, aren't you? Meeting my age. Don't worry about it. I'll outdistance you again in May, and then you can catch up again in November. Let's see. Noble Patriot said BRICS has been testing a 40% gold-backed currency since October. There should be an announcement today. Noble Patriot, that would rock the world. That would shake it, shake it, shake it. We do see central banks desperately trying to get to 25, 30% in gold holdings over their currency. The U.S. nowhere close to it. I mean, like not even in the ballpark. China theoretically might be able to get there with the unreported gold. The U.S. would have to crap every ounce in, let's just say they'd have to discover a lot of gold to do the same. Iraq's already sitting close to 30%. But that would shock the world. Ray. Couple hours ahead of that for me, but then although I can honestly say I think I would rather go to bed earlier and get up that early. I like being up early. I enjoy it. Let's see. Supposedly, CBI lock said rate of 1310 exists through December 30th, 31st. Have you heard the same? This means we wait until then. Nobody knows the timing. HEB cow. But a lock has mentioned for some reason that date and the rate a lot. There's a lot coming together in Iraq on New Year's Eve. Does not mean it can't go before then. Nobody knows the exact timing, and they do that on purpose. Let's see, Mama Bear, the Iraqis who are waiting on payments every month, government workers, everyday workers. Why the delays? Well, originally all the delays were because the money wasn't going to the federal government. The federal government was still paying it, and they were smuggling the oil through the Kurdish region across the border instead of using the pipeline. So they were being expected, Baghdad was being expected to pay for that region, their salaries, their incomes, their retirements, military, everything, but they weren't getting any money from all the revenue from the oil, etc. So you can imagine that caused problems. That would be like the U.S. having to fund all of California's bill, but California not contributing any money at all and taking extra. So they had to work through that. That has only happened, guys. That was only back, August, September of this year. Kirby, thank you. I appreciate you greatly. Please tell the wife hello. Just saw that. So you can imagine that caused a lot of problems. They just now started pumping in the last weeks, less than 2 months kind of thing, and now they're working through all of those back issues to get caught up. They went from 4 or 5 months behind, only 2 months behind, so they're quickly catching up. And I very much understand why those folks that were waiting for the money are upset. And then when they did, they found hundreds of thousands of people that were put on the rolls that didn't exist to get government money as well. So yeah, real crap problem. Tough to blame Baghdad. Well, I can blame Baghdad for not standing up sooner and forcing the issue. But the ultimate guilty party would be the Kurdish regional government. I know they don't want to hear it. It is time for that news banner, and we've already been kind of starting on the news. Not a huge amount out there. Again, I repeat, not a lot out there. So when people pop in, just please, please, please tell them. Way too many lost to cancer lately. Whew. I don't even want to think about that one. All right, let's get back to time to pile into news. I continue to hear a lot of hopeful people for today and tomorrow to receive bond dollars. We will play, wait, and see. My opinion is at this point, because of Asia, I mean, we're already pushing towards Saturday or in Saturday, that even if they did get release of their money, it would be Monday or Tuesday before they see it. So I'm going to follow it. I will keep you updated. I don't have any updates since yesterday afternoon. Pretty standard, I think, in the bond side. They are awfully excited. What else? Nothing from CMKX, individual currencies. There's a lot for us to go on the Sarah Jacera front, or what appears to be a complete system change or reset. I shared this one, just wanted some of you all's thoughts. We are witnessing the largest financial shift in U.S. history. Nobody's talking about it. Does a little bit of a deep dive with some of the comments from Trump, some of the statements. I thought he did a really good job. And he references the new debt clock secret window. Check this thing out. New 50 state credit union banks. Asset trust, 100% reserves, 0 to 3% interest rates offered on loans. Also, if you want to earn money, they offer interest. Now, I know 0 to 3 doesn't seem that impressive, but there's something, or it does seem impressive when it comes to loans, etc. when you're receiving. Now, think about this one, guys. If money is real an asset, then there's no inflation. So when you look at return, you can, how do I put that one? In today's system where we're running 3%, 3.5%, whatever it is, inflation, even in a perfect world at 2% for the fiat world, their target is 2%. That means any interest rate is inflated by that 2%. So if you're paying a 6% interest rate, you're really paying more like an 8. Does that make sense? Whatever that interest rate is on top of that. So it becomes very realistic to offer these low interest rates because there's no inflation eating it. It becomes much more realistic. So when I see these, I'm like, this is very, very doable. Gets into breaking down and how tax system will probably work. I just thought it was a fantastic piece, and I wanted to share this one. And he talks about how it all does this. 0 to 3% home mortgages, car loans, business loans, credit cards that low. Replaces and eliminates all property taxes because there would be revenue for the government by having state credit unions. I just think this one's really neat, guys. All right, totally nothing to do, well, a lot to do with, but Dr. Scott will be going live after this podcast. MedBeds, what would happen if injuries no longer were a concern? I promised I would share that one last night for those that joined Dr. Scott and I. I'm going to put that link in chat for anybody that wants to go check them out. Any of those folks that aren't going to be running over and checking out Zester after this podcast. Now we're back. Let's get into the Iraqi news. Don't fall with apologies. The backlash from Hezbollah being named terrorist, being able to lock up dollars, etc., going after them. So we're talking about Hezbollah and what was the other one, guys? I'm going to drop the ball on this one. Hamas, I believe it was the naming. We covered this yesterday. Part of it is already being retracted. They're trying to walk back from some of it. Still being, all right. Some of the militias, some of the terrorist groups are liked by some of the people. I know it is a small group, but they are a very loud and dangerous group. So this created a bit of a hot potato for Iraq, and it's been interesting watching them deal with this hot potato. They can't completely take it back. They want these militias out. They also don't want to upset the people. It's a tough one. They are going away, though. The militias are going away. We're just watching them deal with the political football that they got right now, or the political hot potato. Shift towards an electronic payment system provides the state with financial liquidity. Just seeing more and more of these stories, how they're making all the changes, how moving to the digital dinar, still going to have cash, but it's going to be asset backed. They talked about it with the iDinar, is going to take 90-some% of the wealth of the country and put it back in the system. This is part of their reforms, and that's why I keep highlighting it, because it shows us clear progress to being finished. Endless crisis. This one was more of a history lesson on why we have not seen the HCL yet. Why the oil and gas law hasn't gone out of the drawers, meaning the file cabinet, for 20 years. Why it didn't go 20 years ago. Gets into some of those long-term problems that they were having. From the smuggling across the border, things that you and I have been talking about it. Somebody new, I thought this would be interesting to put it there, because we need to understand why it has taken so long, but also so we can appreciate how close we are, how much has been accomplished. Trying to think of anything else. Nothing on prosperity packages, nothing on individual currencies. Hopefully, Mr. C has heard something. We're going to hit a couple of news stories from around the world and the country. Then we'll get Mr. C in here a bit on the early side. Macron urges Xi to narrow the unsustainable trade gap. Well, first, he pitched Z to help them get Russia to settle the Ukraine deal or Ukraine war or conflict in the Ukraine. Then he threw himself to Z's mercy and said, we got a real problem with trade imbalance. It's not sustainable. We can't do this. We're losing $200 and some billion a year in an upside down trade deficit. We need to work with you. We need you to work with us. It's like a desperate cry. Am I putting enough emotion in here? As Macron sits there and basically begs to Xi Jinping to balance that. What did Donald Trump do? Tariffs. Said, let's just level the playing field. You charge us this, we'll charge you that. And now we're balancing ours. But I find it very interesting because Macron and the European leaders were bashing Donald Trump over it, bashing him. Now they are desperately begging because they have the same problem, right? Trump wasn't supposed to do anything about the problem. He was supposed to suck it up. Americans were just supposed to eat it. American manufacturing was supposed to just die and go away. European manufacturing, no, that can't happen. It is that what rules are good for you are not good for me, or vice versa. Let's see, would the very presence in the world system of the U.S. fiat dollar decrease the potential RV for the IQD or increase it? Increase it because the U.S. dollar would be worth less, the fiat dollar. So they would need to give you more of them to equal the balance or equal the value of an asset backed. Does that make sense? Yeah, let's say I never could figure out why people are depending. Oh, wait, I'm missing that one, Mark. Yeah, no, it's one of those. It's going to be a heck of a deal when it happens. Kirby said, my sister-in-law passed away peacefully with my brother at her side. Oh, prayers. And that's one that's really tough to talk about, but it's true. Like, what is it? Within second cousins, I believe it's 60 some percent. It's encouraged in that world. And it affects IQ ratio. It's true. This is a documented fact. It's going to upset a lot of people, but it's a documented fact. All right, let's keep running. So we're watching Macron beg and grovel because he has the same problem that we had. The difference is how it was approached. Macron begs like a little, well, you know what? I'm trying to keep the language clean. I'll save it until Whiskey and Wisdom or Andy. Instead of moving forward with common sense and strength. Instinctually programmed to lie, CNN's Jake Tapper mislabels the DC pipe bomb suspect as a white man. Guys, this is not about race. Race is being used to create division. I want to make that very, very clear. When we see these, it is not something about the embattled black man or white man or any of those things. This is about creating dissent between people because you become easier to program and manipulate. All right, what I mean by this one, Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the DC suburbs, is how Jake Tapper called it, right? Over here is a picture of Brian Cole. Does he look like a white man to you? He had the news story. He had the pictures. He specifically used that because he wants us to be upset. He wants to do no, blame white people, blame conservatives, blame males, anything to create division. Who's calling them out on it? Others than podcasters. I haven't seen CNN correct it. They haven't run any corrections or stories or removed anything. Yeah, Macron's useless in my book. But anyways, It's not about race. It's about your soul. Amen. And we've got to stop making it about race. And they constantly make it about race. It should be about the content of your character, period. And I'm not beating on this person. He may not even be guilty, as they are desperately trying to find somebody to pin this thing on. We don't know. Could be. But we got to get to the bottom of it. But that is the response from mainstream media, that they are going to try to divide us by saying, oh, we're going to blame this white man, this whatever. They're willfully, knowingly trying to use race to manipulate us and you. I'm used to saying manipulate us. I'm tough. I would like to think I'm smart enough to think through it. I've gotten it wrong before, but at least now I'm awake enough to look and think. Most people aren't. They just automatically go there. And now you got like all kinds of people out there that are screaming, oh, yeah, I hate these white people. They're extremists. It was not a white person. Not that part matters. Guilty's guilty, whoever it might be. Yeah, he got a serious vision problem, and he needs to paint it. He is so programmed. Mainstream media is so programmed to cause division. I like that. Instinctually programmed to lie. News break. A reminder for you folks as to why I think rhinos and some of the Republican Party are more dangerous than communists and socialists. 49 Republicans voted for Biden's $6 billion Afghan resettlement relief package. You know, the one that brought him here, unvetted, etc. So many. Couldn't do it any other way for some reason. So the majority of Republicans voted against it, but 35 in the U.S. Senate voted for it, 175 in the House. Or wait, 35 in the U.S. voted. Okay, 35 voted against it in the Senate, 175 in the House, which means 34 House Republicans voted for it and 15 Senate Republicans voted for it. What did we get out of that thing? Gentleman caught on tape, shot while shooting, etc. Pled not guilty. Of course, that's not going to hold up, but you got to kind of go there. But let's get into some of that crime. It made an additional 8,000 visas available for Afghan nationals through a special visa program based on credible basis for concern about the possibility of an ongoing serious threat in Afghanistan. Do the work with the U.S. government and NATO mission, blah, 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 was the reasoning. And the bill passed, 407 Democrats and Republicans voting for it. Overwhelmingly Democrat. But now let's get into some of this. The Afghan men arrested last week were among more than 77,000 Afghans who were released in the country who weren't properly vetted. According to a 2022, 2 years ago, Inspector General report, the OIG found the Biden administration admitted and paroled evacuees who were not fully vetted into the United States. The Afghan name, date, birth, identification number, travel document data was inaccurate, incomplete, or missing. The administration also didn't have a list of Afghan evacuees who were unable to provide sufficient identification. But let's get into it. Program was rife with problems, including release of Afghan men who assaulted a female Fort Bliss, Texas soldier, others housed at Wisconsin's Fort McCoy, charged with engaging in sexual acts with a minor and assault. Many House, Senate, and Republicans demand answers about the vetting process. Let's keep going. It gets even more damning when you read some of the crimes associated from rape. Just astounding. The rate. My son. Oh, happy birthday to your son, SMT. Let me keep going. I'm trying to hurry and get this one through. Yeah, that one really doesn't. Well, it does. But the U.S.'s F-35 sale to Saudi Arabia might be part of Trump's ultimate plan to revive IMEC. For those who have been following foreign policy, that sale and improving the relationship with Saudi Arabia after 4 years under Biden, when it really, 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 really soured. When I say the Saudis have zero respect for him, they have zero respect for him. I mean, zero, zilch, none, negative. But it appears that the U.S. wants an ally separate from Israel in the region, because selling those arms, training with Saudi, puts two different policemen, call them, or stabilizing factors or militaries in the region that don't really get along. So is this a move to say, we're going to stop bootlicking for Netanyahu's government? We're still going to be supportive of the Israeli people and the Israeli nation, but we're going to stop bootlicking Netanyahu? What does this mean to you guys? when you see that sudden renewed interest in working with Saudi Arabia to create stability and another, I don't know, military power or strengthen them. No, Russia did not let Afghans in after Russia. Russia does not let a bunch of immigrants because they say it destabilizes the country. Another one of note: Netflix to buy Warner Brothers in a $72 billion deal. Hollywood goes into panic mode. I bet they are. Think about this one, guys. Warner Brothers being bought by Netflix, one of those upstart streaming platforms. I mean, they're kind of old news now, but in the history of things, they are new. It is only a matter of time before things like Netflix, streaming, hopefully Lindell TV, Truth TV, things like that, upset all of the major networks. I think this is where we see them panicking because they're no longer going to be able to, unless they all sell out, just like it appears Netflix may have and Hulu, etc. But it also gives me hope that we can have other what should we call them? Media outlets that won't be beholden to the networks. I see this. A lot of people are like, oh my God, look, this is so scary and bad. And I look at it and say, oh my God, look, this means what we can do. It's been proven. We can knock off the big boys and give better programming. What all did I bring in here? Ooh, Who Gates Blueprint for global ID, AI-driven surveillance, and lifelong vaccine tracking for every person. John did a great breakdown on this one. Automated cradle-to-grave traceability for identifying and targeting the unreached. This is still being pushed. It's even being pushed in the U.S. Europe has pretty much adopted it, along with much of Asia. The proposed system integrates personally identifiable information with socioeconomic data such as household income, ethnicity, religion, deploys artificial intelligence for identifying and targeting the unreached and combating misinformation. We've seen how that works. They fed us full of misinformation while combating misinformation during COVID, and enables governments to use vaccination records as prerequisites for education, travel, and other services, meaning you won't be able to go to the grocery store. Social credit score. These are the things we are fighting, guys, and we've got to keep our eye on it. Just because your favorite guy won an election and he's in charge doesn't mean the world is perfect. Doesn't mean that they aren't still trying. The Klaus Schwabs of the world, the Bill Gates, etc., aren't trying to institute their system. Pay attention. I saw that Mike Lindell running for governor of Minnesota. Pretty cool. I believe a Republican's actually leading the run for California governor. Not that we can get solid numbers because Lewis Herms is running as an independent, but that is something we will definitely be talking about Tuesday. He's going to join us this next coming Tuesday or Tuesday morning, the 9th. He'll be with us Tuesday morning, the 9th. All right, Mr. C, call quick before I keep talking. Looking forward to the code, man. Just getting things in place. Wait, slow it down. Get over the target. That's kind of where I was going with Netflix on the evil side too. Wow, breaking. President Trump said he has approved tiny cars to be built in America. That will be a huge one. America's restrictions on cars or requirements have made it very difficult for new things to hit the market. The big automakers have been protecting themselves. Mr. C, jump in here quick.
Good morning, Mark. How are you today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Well, we're all recovering from a nasty head colds for the last week and a half. So I'm hanging in there.
Oh, wait a minute. I just saw real estate Hilux champ. Guys, if you're not familiar with the Hilux truck, one of the best built vehicles in the world, and we can't get them in the States. That was just me complaining. Hello, Mr. C.
Good morning. I hope everybody can hear me okay. I've tried everything to increase the volume, but it's not easy.
They're busy trying to send you Zicam and nasal swabs and you name it. They're all coming up with treatments for you.
Good deal. Good deal.
Your love.
It's been a rough time, but we're getting through it. It's only 20 degrees outside, and it feels like 10, they say.
Oh,
and boy, it's chilly.
I'm just glad you're not sweating today. Trying to find the silver lining here.
Okay, good deal.
Um, hey, what is there anything on your radar for this week? Anything that you're just itching to share, or plan to share, or want to share?
Well, I haven't really heard anything from anybody, obviously because I haven't reached out due to the head cold scenario. But it is interesting. Um, it's kind of funny to me about the rhinos. Um, Today I was having a running gun battle on the internet with the National Republican Committee. I refuse to pay to play. In other words, they tell me that Trump wants my input for a survey, and in order to do that, I must give him money. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So finally, they come up and say, this was on the first, you're making a huge mistake continuing to ignore us like this. One last time, fill out the survey. So I come back with, I was deep in the book, writing about all this other stuff that they were doing to us. So I wrote back in big font. So now you are threatening, just like Bush Sr. and Richard Cheney, who took out 2 mafia contracts to kill me when I would not follow his orders. Tough. Then I gave my name and address.
My guess is you're not going to get a response now.
Well, they've been kind of shy, but it's very interesting. And I told that to Dana because we've been going back and forth, and I've been sending him some materials that I'm writing, obviously for the book, and it'll take somewhere between 28 to 48 hours for him to get it on email. So it's very, very interesting.
Oh, as in Dana Wilcox?
Dana Wilcox, yes.
Okay. That you guys are communicating, I think, is a very positive thing, but because it keeps them from playing you guys against each other.
Well, it's kind of surprising for us because we're the 2 old timers, and I consider.
I was going to say y'all are it. Y'all are the only 2 left.
That's right. And know the inside scoop. He goes back to the 70s. I obviously go back to the 90s, but it's very interesting. And we joke about the fact that we're still walking around because everybody else is taking off by either being suicided or old age or whatever. And so we're joking about it, but we listen intently to our conversations. There's no question.
Yeah, it doesn't happen like it used to, Mr. C. And I don't know if that's because technology is better, but it used to happen to us. You'd send an email and maybe some of it got removed. Maybe you got it a day or 2 later, but ours have been pretty smooth.
Yeah, they have. Now, I do know that the Interpol guys have at least 2 teams who monitor everything that goes in and out from my communications, verbal and written. So, I mean, I'm fairly confident that they know what's going on, and it's okay. But what's really screwy is the NSA, CIA guys, which try to put little quips in there or try to harass me.
Kirby Toyota Hilux was our go-to transportation in Afghan, both deployments. Great, phenomenal small truck. Think of them as like a stripped down utilitarian version of a Toyota truck. They are bulletproof. Love those trucks. All over the rest of the world, like Mexico, Brazil. I mean, pretty much anywhere in the world but the U.S.
I see somebody is asking me whether they're going to make a movie about my book. You know, as I'm writing this thing, it's going to be well over 1,000 pages. It's very interesting. You can make at least 100 movies about this stuff because it's so phenomenal. And, like, for example, Cheney and W and also Senior were literally just within minutes of either being killed or arrested by the rule court for non-compliance. Senior stole the Queen's gold, hid it away inside Housing Urban Affairs, HUD, under Jeannie Mae's, Freddie Mac's, and he said, "It's my money. You're not getting it. Come hell or high water." Period. In his story, and it's just amazing to me. So yeah, they can make a lot of movies about this, and 007 is nothing compared to what I'm writing about. It's just unreal.
No, it really is fascinating. Let's see. Yeah, who would play? I don't know. Who would play Mr. C? Have you pictured who would play you? I know I've asked this question before.
I'm just a silver-haired country boy. I have no idea.
Sounds like a song. I'm gonna have to get busy writing that one.
I got into this because I told Senior to shut up his butt when he wanted me to work for him. Then they stole my companies and my name and my signature, etc., and marketed me around the world, which I thought was very crazy, but it turned out to be quite an interesting and unique scenario.
It really is interesting if you think about how this all played out. Oh, I'm looking at all of these folks, especially military folks, sounding off on their love and memories of the Hilux trucks from Toyota. All right. Uh, wait, how about a series, a TV series with Mr. C, like The Blacklist? Mama of Boys, I like that.
The Blacklist wasn't far off the point. In fact, a lot of movies which you think are completely fictional are more or less on target, which is amazing.
Really is. Here's really tough questions, and I'm certain you get them a lot. Question for Mr. C: should I pay my taxes due December 15th here in Canada?
Well, I have no idea about Canada. I would not tempt fate, given that the government is still pretty woke, and they'll come after you. For the U.S., I think we're going to get a brief. The Sarah's going to get kicked in pieces by Trump. He's already said that income tax this year for 2025, he may not have to pay them.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's already dropped that bombshell. But the rest, right, guys, I would not stop paying unless you have thought through the ramifications thereof until it goes. But I have to give that advice. I like Maria's.
Absolutely.
Mel Gibson should play Mr. C. You know, as he's gotten older, he'd be the perfect person to play Mr. C.
He probably would be. But given that I already know that the scrutiny that Dana and I are getting just on our little tidbits that we're going back and forth with on the book data that I'm writing, it's going to be a very interesting time frame once I finish this to publish it. I'm very, very sure we're going to have to self-publish. And I'm very, very sure they're going to give me some feedback on it, nasty feedback generally. But we're not only going after the politicals, I'm going after the courts who have declared that legislative laws are null and void due to sovereign immunity to protect their own butts. And we've already got that. I wrote 2 briefs, one for pro se for Dana, for the recovery of his family money, and second to the appeals court in 4th District. And both of them came back and said, well, that's sovereign immunity. Well, that's after the fact, because the securities regs were written in 1933-34, amended in 1970, and it's fraud to take somebody else's money. But that's what they're doing on a wholesale basis. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Cal's Racing, I have not heard any update on the JP Morgan trade. Not all of JP Morgan, just their metals trading desk that was headed to Singapore. And I continue to hear that, and some either Middle Eastern or Asian, Euro Asia buyer demanding delivery of 400 million ounces of silver. Guys, I'm getting that from a lot of silver folks and folks in DC. There's a pure panic going on over that one. What do you think, Mr. C? Silver has shot to about 59.25 this morning. It is shaking up the world. I mean, the cracks are showing. I saw cracks 6 months ago. I saw cracks 2 months ago, but the cracks we see now, I'm blown away at the mainstream pundits or the mainstream people that are now seeing the cracks. And they've been busy trying to ignore the cracks. Now they're like, oh, yeah, no, there have been fundamental problems for years. That's not what they were telling us for years, but that's what they're suddenly telling us now.
I think what we have going on right now is a dichotomy, and that is Trump is trying to implement the Nassau Gold Treaty protocols on a piece-by-piece basis. On the other side, we have BRICS and the rest of the nations of the world saying, screw the fiat money, we want gold and silver. And I think that BRICS is really going to force the issue of the RV. And I think it's great, but they tried this in 2016 and Golden Dragon said, no, we're not going to fund that. But I think now the time has come for it to happen.
We've got rumors today that, this week, possibly this weekend, even today, that BRICS is going to announce a 40% gold backing on all their currencies. If you're going to be a BRICS nation, you have to have at least a 40% gold backing. And the U.S. didn't even have that when we were under, our best ever in the U.S. was a 35% gold backing in the last couple hundred years. What do you think? I mean, we're seeing a lot of this all at one time.
Well, first off, the United States can't do it because there is no gold. Senior stole it in 2007, and he stole the gold out of the Federal Reserve Bank, out of the World Trade Center prior to 9/11. So I think it's great that this is going to happen. It's going to force the RV itself. Speaking of 9/11, which is kind of interesting, I hear nothing coming out of D.C. about Able Danger, Operation Able Danger, which Leo told me a lot about. And also Chris Story. But what's really fascinating to me, I'm just now in May of 2009 going through all this, and I've heard this from various sources, including Bill Bonney. Bill Bonney was scheduled. He had worked for Senior for a long time. He had handed his money that he made from Senior to a third party to manage the monies for him. Those monies were stolen by Senior back again and required Bill to work for him again to recover that money. So Bill he was scheduled to be at the World Trade Center at a meeting with Cantor Fitzgerald people at 9 a.m. on 9/11. Now, lucky for all of us, I guess, he did not show up. But I'll tell you what, that's scary. That is really scary.
And I would like to point out, guys, as we discuss the history, we talk about Bill Bonney, Leo Wanna, and these folks that were involved in this process. We're not denigrating folks that are dead.
No.
We're just talking about the history. We wish their families the absolute best. These gentlemen, whether they were right or wrong all the time, went through hell. Their lives were destroyed, just like Mr. C's. Mr. C is just still with us, and I very much believe he's going to get to see the finish line and redemption. Those gentlemen are going to have to get it post-human. I mean, they're going to have to get it after the fact.
I certainly hope so. No, these guys, Leo had some problems, but Leo was a patriot, yes. Bill Bonney was a patriot, very much so, extremely. But unfortunately, they were caught. Once you accept a bribe or some point of...
It's almost impossible to come back.
Yeah, you can't come back from that. Especially Senior. Senior and Clinton's, they would, and I talk about this. For example, David Kellerman, who was the acting chief executive officer of Freddie Mac in 2009, April 22. He was shot and then suicided by hanging. And because he wanted to resign. Why do you want to resign? Because as I have proved in the briefs, they were using Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Ginnie Mae's as the hiding places for all the money that Senior stole, which was unaccountable. It was exempt. So these people, they were patriots, but at the same time, they were caught in a web that they could not get out of. And I'm giving them credit. And that's why I'm documenting everything that I'm writing. I'm giving them credit for what they went through. Not because it proves my case, but because it proves their case.
Yeah, I think that's that's the right thing to do, the noble thing to do, and I'm daggone proud of you for doing it that way.
Joey, what are you doing?
Red Sky, Mr. C, how will the RV be announced to the public?
Well, as I was told by Interpol way back in the early 2000s, this will be an emergency broadcast system operation within the very same time that they come see me and they start picking up the big rats. So the money is safe. They're going to announce and also show the perp walks with the indictments of the crimes committed by these people. So it's going to be, and that's going to be worldwide. It's not just going to be in the U.S. It'll be worldwide.
Yeah, which is exciting because the problem's worldwide. Red Rider with a question, Mr. C, are birth certificates still in play? I don't think they're in play, but they want your opinion, not mine.
No, they are not. They have not been for a long time. If they were, there would not be this crisis over money. There, you have to understand. Well, it's hard to understand, but there was $1,000 trillion floating around between the late 90s and 2013. $1,000 trillion, US dollars. Everybody wanted a piece. And what we're seeing right now with the wokeness of Europe under Soros, etc., is that they were able to secure a piece of that by bribery, extortion, and fraud. So they want to maintain that. But as far as the birth certificates, they're long gone. And the money supporting them are long gone.
It was fraudulently created anyways.
Yes.
Just like how's the idea? All the money that the bank supposedly had when you've got 1 or 2%, then they hypothecate a crazy amount. So all those things, when people call it a debt jubilee, they're really just getting rid of fraudulent money that doesn't really exist, that is made out of thin air. That's your birth certificate. That's also the money that they gave you to buy your house that they didn't actually have, and they just hypothecated it out of thin air.
I'd like to interject something here. This debt, quote unquote, jubilee or forgiveness that's going on is nothing but a BS because they're paying you with fiat money. They're letting you forego debt to reaffirm that you will continue buying with fiat debt.
That's
Did I lose you?
No, you didn't lose me. I was thinking through is there any better way to explain that to folks? Yes, I still very much believe that the debt removal is happening. I would like to call it something different than a jubilee.
Oh, I get emails all over the place. They'll forgive my debt, and basically, it's just a fraud. I'm not going to go through it. Even if they do reduce my debt, they expect me to continue with the fiat money, and that's not the point of what we're doing.
Yeah, that's and that guy, Mr. C, I think I actually sent you some links yesterday on this one. That's one of the ways in the past that they have handled this. That's how they kind of handled it after the Weimar Republic. Then that didn't work, so they went to war. But by just removing your debt, keeping the fraudulent system, they just, oh no, debt jubilee, just wiped your debt. But the underlying system didn't change because they needed people to spend money again to go in the debt cycle again. It didn't work that way. They've tried that throughout history, just wiping the debt and starting no systematic change, no moved asset, none of that. And it always leads to a heck of a lot of heartache and upheaval. Patricia wants to know, because you had mentioned Cantor Fitzgerald. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Going back to the debt situation, there is something that's very, I don't want to say cool about this. They can forgive your debt today on fiat. They want you to create new debt so they can rehypothecate that debt and make money. That's how they're surviving. What did I say about Cantor Fitzgerald? Cantor Fitzgerald was the main operation for Bush Sr. to create and move and hide money for Bush Sr. Cantor Fitzgerald, if you recall, in 9/11, only one person out of the whole operation of 600 people plus survived because he knew what was coming. Whether he wants to admit it or not, he knew. Otherwise, now, why is that? Because in Building 7, and I deal with this in the book, Able Danger was about removing the debt documentation created by Senior in his quest to get immunity from the World Court, not to go to jail or get killed. So he created all this debt from all of these hypothecation of assets, quote unquote, and it was all lodged and housed in Building 7 and also in the federal courthouse in Chicago, which also burned the night of 9/11, by the way, just prior to 9/11. And so when Building 7 went down, all the evidence that Senior had, or was the World Court had against Senior, was gone. It was just evaporated. So Cat Fitzgerald, as far as I'm concerned, was part and parcel to the fraud, to the ripoff of the world.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to disagree with you there. Dime nickel, all these silver quotes include margin no. When we're sounding out the prices, we're telling you what different people are quoting the spot price at. Right now, it looks like a push to push silver down. It popped up 59.50 and it's almost down to 59. So the oh crap people have kicked in as they try to keep it from running over 60. It'll be a desperate attempt. It'll be fun to watch.
When someone mentions margin, they're talking about a margin account upon which you can borrow against an asset, buy it, and then pay the broker dealer. That is a securities term.
Yeah, it usually is. I don't think in this instance they were referring to that margin, but they could have been.
Yeah.
So in Nacera, will there be debt forgiveness? Now, when we answer this, we got to be careful.
Okay, let me go for this because that's interesting.
I'm hoping you will go for it.
Okay, Nacera is based on the Nacera debt jubilee is based on this. All the monies right now, all the debt right now that's out there is based upon a massive fraud, and that is derivatives. Derivatives are nothing more than a fraudulent way to get you to borrow money. The banks are surviving on the Nacera, on the derivatives on their balance sheets as contingent liabilities, not as true debt, but contingent liabilities. Therefore, they can ignore it, but it does support them on paper because of the recent banking laws that were passed. They just said, "Oh yeah, it's okay, it's good," and that's why the Chicago Mercantile is still trading them. Any fool that buys them is crazy because you will not recover your money. Okay, Nacera itself is not debt forgiveness; it is debt elimination because of fraud. All debt around the world is based on fraud. Period.
And that's an important distinction, guys. The end game is, I expect, he expects, we expect, from what we have heard, that debt gets erased, removed because it was fraudulent. The powers that be that want you to be warm and fuzzy about it, they want you to believe that your debt was forgiven, that they're graciously doing this for you. No, they're guilty as hell and they're being held responsible. They're not doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. I guess that's why I keep saying I don't like the word jubilee and I don't like the word forgiveness, because it's not forgiveness and it's not a jubilee. It is
Right.
Guilty rats finally having their comeuppance.
Carl Gooder just asked a question just to see where's all the stolen money now? Gone. You could only hypothecate this money so many times before there's nothing left but debt. And you can't hypothecate debt that did not have a sinking fund. That's the whole point of this. When these promissory notes were first issued in the 90s, they had by law, under the Trust Act of 1939, a sinking fund to repay the debt. That was forgiven and gone away when Senior got involved. Now, this goes back to Eagle 2 as a way to secure funds off balance sheet with no debt attached. That's something I delve into a lot. Eagle 2 in the Bush operation, which is also the Soros operation. There's a lot there.
A lot there. Connie Walters, Mr. C, you have said our money in the bank is safe. What about mutual funds that invest in treasury bills and bonds? A lot of people have turned to them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Treasury bills and bonds will be covered. That is something that the Trump even is stated in fact under his executive orders that he will not screw the American people by saying your treasury bills are worthless. He's not going to, like what W did, by the way. They're going to honor them. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, your money's going to be safe because it's going to be gold backed. It's going to be under a system, a QFS system, that's going to say source of funds, use of funds, full transparency.
See if you have a suggestion for this one. CW said, Mr. C, what's the best source to use for up-to-date silver price? I use the New York Commodity Exchange. There's so many different ones, and some of them, before they post one, they'll take into more in account, so they'll show a little bit lower price. That's kind of like Miles Franklin usually trails because they're more conservative in that reporting. Others, they want you to see it fluctuating. They get more clicks, so they want to use only one or two sources so it shows higher prices and more fluctuation. But what do you think, Mr. C? What do you use, or do you?
I do not, and I'm not an expert in this field. I would ask you to talk to Andy. To me, he's probably the best source for all of this information regarding the precious metals.
I do not doubt that at all. I shouldn't even say that. I am 100% convinced that he should be everybody's go-to on that front, not just for the knowledge, but also to pick it up.
My expertise right now basically is, and I know that a lot of people asking me what's going to happen and such, but my expertise basically is a factual event chronological scenario of what took place for 30, 35 years, 36 years. I'm writing a history book, one which is going to be very, very interesting to read, but it is a true history book. And that's really where I base my credibility, more or less.
Question that I've seen pop in here a few times. I should probably touch on it. Joe wants to know, are the Doge checks ever going to happen, and what accounts are they going to be deposited into? QFS or new ones or private accounts? Do you have any thoughts on that constant tariff check, Doge check, all the different possibilities of helicopter money?
Well, honestly, I think Trump has put himself in a box. He has to release pieces of the Doge operation to make sure that the Supreme Court does not come down on him for creating a new tax. Okay, with the tariffs. So if he refunds pieces of that money, he's talking about $100 billion. That's pretty darn good. With regard to that, so I'm real pleased about it. But I don't see that as a problem. And I don't know. I have mixed feelings, but more or less, I believe what Trump is doing is the right thing to do.
I would like to think that it is to help people with the transition as money moves into a new system, and that it's coming soon, but I don't know. That's my wishful thinking, I think.
That's all we can do is speculate right now.
Oh, happy birthday, Mike. Let's see. For my 69th birthday present day, I want to know Mr. C's previous work history. What a cool man. You've done that. You've given us some background, some past. We've talked about how we met, how I got into this. We've talked about these, in the past, and I don't know, maybe we are due for another one where that's all we talk about.
Well, briefly, I served 8 years I was 6 active in the Navy, pretty much after my sophomore year in college. And then I went to, I came back here, went to school, got my degree. And during the 70s, as those of us in that age bracket know, that it's like today, there were very few jobs. So I sort of rambled around a little bit here and here, and came across an idea of the homes for the homeless. I knew enough about securities in the 80s, based on my insurance background, that we could find a way to finance homes for the homeless using collateral mortgage obligations. And I set up a program, sent that to HUD. It was approved. It was approved locally. And then from there, it just sort of went wildfire. And as I qualified for a securities broker-dealer principalship in 1990, after working with the HUD for a little while, it just sort of spiraled from there. My work history really is basically an all-around, as my grandfather used to say, a jack of all trades, but a master of only one.
And, that's better than me, Mr. C. I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none.
But anyway, it's basically it's securities. And as we got into this, with my military background, having a secret background, because I was in military aviation, aviation meteorology, and working at Fleet Central in Norfolk for about almost 6 years. Goodness, I got invited to a few different things, and that led my contact with Dana Wilcox, and then Dana brought me into Delmarva Timber Trust, and from there the world just opened up because we got to see from the top down what Bush Senior was doing.
Happy
That's the
birthday.
short version.
Happy birthday, Royce. Stroobs, for my birthday suggestion this Sunday, because I guess Stroobs has got a birthday coming up, how about a night podcast with Mr. C when we can all sit down, a fireside chat where all we talk about is the history of you? I kind of like that idea sometime. Doesn't have to be this Sunday, but in general, I kind of like that idea.
That would be interesting. I really have a problem, though, with my wife. When she comes home from work, she demands 100% attention. It's difficult even to take phone calls. So I'm sorry.
Been there in the past. I understand what you're saying. Mr. C, I noticed the time. Anything else you want to add? A lot of people, your gut on timing. Guys, we don't know the timing, but I'm still going to ask the question.
I don't know the timing. I think it's soon. I think it's very soon. I think what's going on in the Middle East, or I'm sorry, in the Far East with the Bond guys is instrumental and integral to us having the RV. That being said, I don't know. But I would like to say this. Thank you to Richard H. out of Boulder, Colorado. I received your package and your note, and I thank you very, very much. And also Lyman. I appreciate it very, very much, Lyman. Your comments are very well taken. Thank you. Other than that, I just don't know when this is going to happen, but I'm setting my suits to press. I'm ready to go. If they show up, I'm ready to sign off. Whether it's tonight, tomorrow, or next week, I don't know. But either way, I thank you all for the opportunity, for your questions, because, you know, the one thing that we're not hearing today is history of what took place that have led us to this place. And that's why I wrote the book, and that's why I'm writing the book. So I will, regardless of whether it paid or not, I'll see you next week.
Take care, Mr. C.
Thank you. Bye now.
All right. Always enjoy our time with Mr. C. Let me get things prepared. We can sing birthdays, have a little time with Matt and Lucas for those that would like to stick around. Is there really a need for a Fed chairman, CW? No. Theoretically, we would have a really solid, lovely Treasury secretary, and you wouldn't have any Federal Reserve. And money, which is defined as gold or silver, right? Happy birthday to all of those, some of them that I may have missed. KSH, Model, Austin, Kathy, Chantel, Mike, Royce. I'm certain there are more. Yeah, I think it's very possible to get it done before Christmas. I'm twisting my fingers. Whether we do or don't, I don't know. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those celebrating Stroobs. Happy birthday. Gina, probably pretty smart to slide it in while they still had their BOGO going. I bet they had a crazy week because of that one, which is a good thing. Bunny A. Bunya, happy birthday in Australia. The man, the myth, David and Connie, 44 years together. Speaking of 44 years together, how are you and Lucas?
Hey, how's it going, Mark?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Just busy this morning. Just cutting her down to the finish line here, but getting the specials in. And can you hear me good?
Oh, yeah, no, we can hear you great. I'm just kind of curious as to just how rough was this week after you did the BOGO thing for that whole Black Tuesday thing? I mean, that whole this week. I mean, the Cyber Week, the Cyber Gurus, or I don't know what we call you after this week, but my guess is your warehouse staff is probably ready for a different lineup of specials. Or are you just going to double down on insanity?
No. We got a different special for sure. No, we're not doing that one again. No. And yeah, it'll be just a little bit different for sure. 100%. And yeah. Hey, when we do a Mark, it would be cool if you could put them up there though, and I'll tell everybody about them. If you did Lucas come in yet? Oh, Lucas is there.
Oh yeah, he's waiting on you.
Okay. Hey, when I put a picture up there, Mark, when you're doing it, so I can. I can't even see it from here. But anyways, okay, here we go. You go to the CBDgurus.com, THECBDGURUS.com. Oh, there I can see it now for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right on. Perfect. And then usually what else I look at when I'm doing this, it just wouldn't work this morning. So anyways, then when you're in the site, you go to MarkZ Wholesale. And then when you're in MarkZ Wholesale, you put in wholesale first. And then you put in, oh my God, I'm really going to town here. Okay. If a box pops open, you put in lowercase KRAM CBD. And you're all set. Then you get in there. And then you're in the specials. And yep, there they are right there. I can see them just perfect. But anyways, this week we got 20,000 dong or rupiah on many of the items. And yeah, don't worry about that. It's probably going to be worth about the same. And, you know, they're pretty close to being the same kind of a country. So what do you think about, Mark? Did I say that right? Is that about right? The dong and the rupiah. Yeah, they're in the deal. But anyway, so we're giving 20,000 on about, I don't know, it looks like about 16 items below in the specials. And we also have a 15% discount code this week too, DEC15 for December. But I shouldn't say December. It's DEC15 for the money off. If you want to get that at the end, just put that in the box where it'll say put in a code while you're checking out. Okay. And then when you're down to the specials, let's see, we got the Miracle Gold, 2-ounce bottle, the Miracle Gold 2-ounce without THC, 20,000 dong on those. I think that's what it is. It's so small, the screen I'm looking at. And then we've got the sleep gummies. We got the coffee. We also have a new item. We've got the non-CBD coffee in the 1 pound now. And then we've got the coffee concentrates with the mushrooms in them. And we've got another flavor today. It's peppermint mocha. And I really like it. It's I think I had about half a bottle last night. And I actually slept too. I was tired. And then we've got the 1/4 ounce bag of mushroom coffee without the CBD in it. And then you scroll down a little bit there, and we've got other products. There we are. I can see them now. Yeah. We've got the mushrooms, those products there with the, I think it's a dong. It's so small I can't even read it. And then we've got other products in there. Just check them out, you guys, in the specials. You go to thecbdgurus.com, go to wholesale, MarkZ, and then put in lowercase KRAM CBD, and then you're all set. Yeah, it's just kind of been a hectic morning, but I'm all set now. I'm relaxed now. All the work's out of the way for me. Thank God. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, pretty good. How about yourself? How's Lucas?
It's just been busy week. I don't know.
Oh, I'm just sick, Mark.
Oh no!
Lucas? What the hell,
Matt? When you have 3 kids under 10 and all they want to do is lick stuff at the store, what do you expect?
Really? Did they lick the floor?
Well,
No,
see,
but my youngest, you know where you grab the handle to get into the the milk.
right?
I turned for a second, looked back around, and he was trying to joke around with his older brother and had his mouth wrapped around the handle.
Are you kidding?
I'm like,
You should have
I'm
put
like,
him in
what
a
are
be
you
bubble.
laughing, but that's
doing?
funny.
And I was like, okay, we're safe, and then like what it was like 4 or 5 days after I remember because he started getting sick and then I started and I was like, that's why right there. I was like,
It's
Jiminy Christmas, like keep your mouths off stuff, please. Just don't just keep your mouth where it needs to be.
oh man, I can't even go. I feel so bad for you, but at the same time, it's like how many movies, how many times have we thought, the kid, I mean, they're walking germ factories,
Oh my gosh.
walking
Yeah.
super spreaders, but
No, but
to
I'll
turn
tell you
around and
what's
see him with his mouth.
so once I started, I don't feel like like I can feel that like my body is immune is getting a little bit better. I've been pounding the turkey tail. Like I've been
Oh,
doing like Matt, I know you do like the CBGA and CBDA. I go for the turkey tail, and I
I'm
feel
going
like
for some turkey tail right now. I'm
I've
inspired by that conversation.
oh my gosh. I don't like the turkey tail definitely is not helping the body aches, but I feel like my mental, side is getting better.
Oh, matter of fact, I'm putting up the mushrooms now.
Just reminded me, I just popped another 2.
Mm. I just did the same thing, and I didn't want people to watch me pop them. That was my that was my reminder to take my mushrooms. Yeah, at least it wasn't a frozen lamp pole where you had to go rescue them from.
Oh my gosh. You know what, Mark? Crazy enough, when I was in elementary, I think I was in, I don't know, probably 7th or 8th grade. There was a kid in 6th grade, and he stuck his tongue to a telephone pole because obviously kids dared him, and
Duh.
well, you got to do what kids,
Double dog
you know,
dare you.
yeah, exactly. And he got his entire stuff, like he didn't stick the tip, he stuck his entire tongue to it. And
Oh,
but then instead of waiting for people to get some hot water or water to pour on it, he rips it off. And I mean
oh,
there was blood everywhere. Everywhere.
oh.
I mean, it was so bad. And like even in high school, like I mean, I know the kid. He's not really all there, but he's a nice kid. But like he couldn't taste
What's
food.
his name? Kevin.
Yeah, it was Kevin.
Kevin's not here to defend himself, so we have to have a little bit of fun. Love you, man. That's Matt, I don't think you can have a story to match this one, but I do want to let you know, though, Matt, so you're prepared. I volunteered you yet again, probably the 4th time or 5th time, to tell the strange passenger when you were driving limos coming from the Minneapolis Fed.
Oh, you want me to tell it right now?
Oh, that's up to you. But I know
No,
they
I'll
are
tell it right
desperate to
now.
hear it either today or tomorrow. I told them I would try to talk you into one of the two once we had you on here, but it would probably be Saturday because I wasn't giving you a warning. I was
Yeah,
springing it on you.
I'll tell it the morning so I can just make notes, because sometimes I tell it and then I think of stuff. Oh, I should have said that too, because we talked from picking them up at the Hyatt, going out to the airport, which was probably 25 minutes in traffic. So there was a lot said. He pretty much talked the whole time, and I just asked questions. So I'll write it down so I can think of everything.
I just made a note of it.
Okay.
So that tomorrow it'll be the first thing I see, so I can remind you, 2 hours before the podcast. But no, I think that would be great. I may actually record that one and make it a short for people, because I get asked that question. I mean, people are like, "Oh my, that one really just drives home how long and how mysterious and the inner workings of making something like this happen." All right, so Lucas, should we let you? Are you going to be capable of joining us tomorrow?
Yeah, I should be okay. I just, it's been a couple days. Yesterday was kind of the peak of how bad it was, so hopefully it starts getting better.
Lucas, I feel bad for you.
Oh my
No, I do
gosh.
too.
It's like just nonstop. like my brother doesn't have any kids, and he's just like, he goes, man, he goes, I'm a nurse and I don't get sick. I was like, well, do you put your mouth on stuff? Do you lick the floor?
You lick
Like,
the sick passengers?
do you try to stick an entire doorknob in your mouth?
Right.
He
Hey,
was
look, a
like,
bedpan. Let me
yeah,
taste it.
yeah, exactly. He was like, he go, and I was like, well, once you have kids, that's what's going to start happening. He was like, there's no way. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you right now. But I mean, I don't remember it as a kid. Obviously, like, I was too young. But my mom had me go into like one of the, like a Walmart or whatever, when we were kids, and we were in the bathroom, and she said that I put the toilet brush in my mouth
Oh,
as a kid.
you got to brush your teeth.
Good Lord.
And I was like, there's no way, mom. Like, she goes, I almost threw up when I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh,
And
mom.
now you know why your mom refused to kiss you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, like, I'm not
Like,
going to
not
kiss
even on the
that
cheek,
mouth.
not even whatever. No, I know where
Uh,
that mouth has been. Not
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I didn't tell my wife that story till after we got married.
yeah. It was too late then.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Lucas, I am so sorry that you feel rough, but let me tell you, brother, you made my week with laughter today. Oh, I like this one. Charlene, excuse me, like father, like son.
That's right. That's right. The apples typically don't fall far.
Matt, you
Yeah.
got to have a good story with your kids like that. I hope you have a solid one.
Let's see. Just trying to think here. Hey, no, I got some with friends. You know what? No, I got some that are worse than that. But
Oh, yeah, we might have to save those for a whiskey show. Or maybe we're going to have, I don't know, what would be a good one for a gummy, a gummy show? What can we call it? We can't like gumption and gummy. I'm trying something clever.
there was a. You know what? I'm not even going to say it now because I don't want. I'll say it. Yeah, that would be a good one, but it's just almost horrible. But it's got something to do with boogers, and it just not my kids, but somebody I knew. And it was sickening. Yeah. Should I say? I gotta say it now. No, I don't want to say it. It grosses me out. But whatever you've talked about so well, the bathroom thing, yeah, that's close. You put the brush in your mouth, the cleaning thing, Lucas?
I don't want to talk about it again, Matt.
Good Lord. That almost would make me.
All right. If it makes you feel any better, Lucas, read what I just put on the screen. Epicenter LLC said, I sent my sons into the men's room once, and the older one came out mortified and said, he licked the mint.
Oh yeah.
The urinal cake, the mint. Oh.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's.
And ladies, this is why you will always have these problems with men. We're idiots.
Ladies, we like to push the limits of what is not only acceptable, but what is the limits of our bodies. We like to see how sick we can possibly be. I think there's some genetics in there for us wanting to become a super species, and the other side of it wanting to see if we'll die or not.
Oh, absolutely. We have learned through genetics, through time, through evolution. God designed us this way. He wants to refine us into the absolute best we can be. So he gave us crap for brains, because if we're going to survive, we got to be tough to be this dumb.
Well, exactly. Like, and that's my whole thing. Like, if you're going to be dumb in this world, you better be tough.
You better be tough. You're going to be dumb.
I'm pretty sure that's a
be
Johnny
tough.
Cash. Isn't that a Johnny Cash song? Boy Named Sue. That's what's in there. If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. That's right.
Oh, man. Guys are so weird. Yes, we are. And there's not a whole lot going in upstairs. It's like, I see all these movies, and, there's, got these people have all these supposed thoughts. And I'm like, I'm not that complex.
No. And those of you guys who think that you're more complex, good on you, because 99.9% of us are not.
No.
Boy, the bathroom
right.
brush, that's hard to beat any correct?
That's I don't know, the urinal case right up there with it.
I was just,
He
I
tasted
actually,
the mint.
I thought of two horrible ones that I know about. I don't even think it comes to close to that.
Oh,
Good Lord. That's, wow. That's really something. I don't know. I don't know if that can be beat.
I mean, I hope it is beat someday. I
So,
hope so.
God, I don't know. Part of
How old were
me
you,
wants it to
Lucas,
be
at the
beat just so
time?
that you can like not hold the crown.
She thinks I was like 5 or like 5, maybe.
So you didn't even think about it afterwards, right?
No, I probably
He didn't
thought I
even
was just.
remember it. If she didn't tell him, he would not know what happened.
All I
Well, that's all
probably thought
right
is
then.
like, man, these bristles feel great against my gums.
So, oh man, you know what? Yeah, that's wild. Now I got one that happened to me, and I actually thought about it for probably a month, and every time I would, I'd almost puke because it. But I don't want to say it here today. It's just sickening, you know. Actually, I got 3 sickening ones, and we'll save them for a whiskey night because I'll just 3 in a row, boy, and we'll have to do them at the end of the show, Mark, because everybody's going to want to throw up, you know.
Right? We'll
They're
take a
bad.
break for
They're
everybody to
bad.
grab the puke bag or bucket.
And the booger one would be the best one out of them.
Oh,
And no, and the one involved me by accident. I'm telling you, I felt every time I'd think about it for a month, I'd almost throw up, and I just, oh my God, thank God I didn't get sick at all from any of them though. Well, the one I wouldn't have because it didn't involve me, but no, 2 of them didn't involve me. It's horrible. But so that night, Mark, that'll be a good one. So you're gonna have to.
all right.
End up getting millions of
Yeah,
views.
you need to pop into more. I mean, you've abandoned us on Whiskey and Wisdoms of late, so it'd be good to get you into one sometime soon.
I will. I wanted to go this week, but I was so tired. I was working at the warehouse one night. I ended up sleeping over. You know what? In the motorhome, and then I got up in the middle of the night to keep working. It was unbelievable. We were pretty busy. You know.
Yeah, can we get like graphics for the RV? Just it'll say the mobile doghouse.
Yeah,
Doghouse on wheels.
you know, I always said that it would have been cool to like video what happens in the warehouse for the last 5 years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it would be a hoot. It'd be wild. But I don't know, people might get mad. Not about the cleanliness of anything, just about the actions of everybody there. You know, like that day I ate all the gummies and I tried to stuff them in my mouth. Not exactly like that, but there's things that happen probably once every 2 weeks equivalent to that. And a lot of stuff is funny and fun, but some of it's out of control. But, you know, our products are awesome. That's all I can say.
Well,
Yeah,
and
no,
it
you got
definitely,
great product.
well, especially for the immunity, because trust me,
Yeah,
there's a
especially
lot of us out there that need it.
So, for all you folks, for your children and your grandchildren, you should consider the turkey tail mushroom, the 5 matrix mushroom, and the immunity. All right, this is a good place to wrap. I'm having too much fun.
Hey, have a good one, guys. We'll see you in the morning.
See you in
Get
the
some
morning,
rest.
everybody. Thanks, Mark.
Matt, Lucas, thanks. I can't thank these guys enough. They're a huge bonus to the program. They give so much of their time, of their effort, of their profits, etc., to help the community. I just want to say a thank you. For the rest of you, see you tomorrow morning, 9:45 a.m. Eastern, unless there is breaking news. Happy birthday and happy anniversary to all those celebrating mods. Thank you.